Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm John and I make YouTube videos about cool projects I'm working on. This video is the last part of the series where I'm documenting my journey into building a tennis ball machine. If you haven't seen the earlier videos, no worries, I will drop a link to the playlist in the description so you can catch that up anytime. To my awesome subscribers, over 250 of you, thank you so much for sticking with me. Your comments and enthusiasm have really kept me motivated throughout this whole project, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. If you'd like to support this channel and see me tackle more projects, consider joining my Patreon. Your support means the world and helps me keep creating. And let me know if you would like me to produce a detailed build manual that will serve as a blueprint for anyone interested in building such a machine. If there's enough support, I may do that and put it up for a modest price for anyone to buy. So, whether you're new or you've been around for a while, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this video as much as I've enjoyed bringing this build to life. Alright, let's dive in. You might have caught the shots I posted a few weeks ago. So let's pick up from there, shall we? So after printing the gears for the vertical and the horizontal components in PLA material, I switched over to ABS, which meant recalibrating my 3D printer. Fun times, I know. I started with the 0.4mm nozzle but swapped it for a 0.6mm nozzle for faster and hopefully stronger prints. Everything was going great until disaster struck. My filament snapped midpoint and the printer stopped. I was panicking big time. Luckily, I caught it within 30 minutes and fixed it right away. The moment I hit resume print, I wasn't sure it would work, but miracles of miracles, it did. Let me tell you, that relief, man, that relief was real. With that mini heart attack behind me, I got back to assembling everything. If you saw my shots, you probably remember me testing if the vertical, horizontal, and the ball throwing modules were all working together. Spoiler alert, they did. Now, onto the limit switch. You know, the little guy that tells the microcontroller when a ball is fired. Well, it wasn't performing as I hoped. The switch was being pressed too quickly by the rolling ball, and my program wasn't picking it up in time. I needed it to stay pressed for just a bit longer, like 500 milliseconds, not even full seconds. So I got creative and moved the limit switch to the entrance of the ball pipe and extended the switch's rocker arm by supergluing some pen clips. Yeah, I know, not exactly a high-tech solution, but guess what? It works, and that's what matters, right? I modeled and 3D printed a simple holder that bolted to the inside of the ball pipe, and the results? Well, it's about 90% accurate in my testing, which I'll take it as a win. Next, I mounted the circuit board onto a piece of plywood and wired everything out. I was thinking about going the PCB route, but you know, sometimes you've got to prioritize must-haves over nice-to-haves. Building the outer shell was another fun adventure. After a bit of thinking, I left the front and the back open for easy access to the electronics and to take out the battery for charging. Now look, I'm no carpenter, but I glued and screwed the plywood together and slapped on a few brackets and hoped for the rest. So far, so good. It's holding up pretty solid. Oh, another thing, for the mechanical module, I added a metal plate under the swivel mechanism for extra support. I wasn't too confident that plywood alone could handle the repeated shocks from the balls getting shot out. If you've seen the vibrations in the shots video, you know what I'm talking about. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for, here's how the machine looks all assembled. I weighed it, minus the battery, it's about 13.25 kilos. Add in the 3.25 kilo battery, and we are at a total of 16.5 kilos. Not bad, right? For transport, I'm using a simple trolley with some flush handles I added for easy lifting. And here's how it looks in my car's boot. Pretty good, I say. And finally, it was time to take it for a spin. I knew the balls were firing with decent power, but the real question was, would they clear the net? I started testing the sweep mode and the first issue popped up. The default elevation was too low and the balls were heading straight into the net. After some fiddling, I found that for slower speeds, setting the elevation to at least 3 did the trick. Once I dialed that in, boom, the balls were flying over the net and I was over the moon. Then I started testing the depth mode. The elevation for depth mode starts at 30 degrees, so I was a bit confident that the balls would clear the net, but it only moves at position 3 after the first ball gets fired, which meant the first ball was still getting shot into the net. so another fix for me to do. Here's a shot of the machine firing balls at different angles. This is only at 50% power, by the way. Thanks to some tailwind, the balls flew farther than expected, which is great. Yeah, less power, more distance, I'll take that. I'm running a 12 amp hour SLA battery, and while I don't have a benchmark yet, I suspect it'll last at least an hour, if not 2. That would be nice, if it lasted more than 2 hours. Check out the slow motion video of the balls launching. There's a little bit of wobble, but that's fine by me. The powerful ejection force has to go somewhere, right? I'll keep an eye on it and maybe post an update after a few months of use. Oh, and you probably noticed, I'm pressing the radio remote right next to the receiver. Yeah, something's up with the range. I suspect interference from all the components, but I think I've got a fix. More on that soon. After seeing the machine work, I cranked up the power to 70% and wow, the balls were flying into the fence. So I tried lowering the elevation to 2 and keeping the power at 70%. It worked great. There was a lot of power and the balls were at the right height over the net. I also tested the ball feeder with over 35 balls loaded. I hit start, ran across the court and let the fun begin. I was so thrilled to see the balls coming at me, and at first I was super conscious of the video and the machine's operation. But slowly I forgot all about it and started to just play. After a couple of rounds of hitting, it got me thinking, why not ditch the radio remote entirely? I could set a 30-second delay to give me time to get into position and use the limit switch to stop the machine after all the balls are fired using a timer or a counter. It would be so much simpler. So here's what I did. I updated the code to give me a 20-second delay, which gives me enough time to get into position before the machine starts up. Once it's running, I've set up a counter to track when 40 balls have been fired. If it hits 40, the machine stops automatically, but sometimes the feeder can miss a count. It happens. So I added a timer as a backup. So basically the machine stops after a set time. I calculated it to be around 150 seconds, allowing 3 seconds per ball plus an extra 30 seconds as buffer for any feeder hiccups. Here's the updated ball machine in action. I'm using a smaller time limit for the purpose of this video, but you get the idea. I have to say, the vertical mode really surprised me with how much height and depth it throws the ball at. I might need to tweak the motor power when it gets to the highest angle. It's just a bit too powerful, even at 50%. The sweep mode definitely kept me on my toes. It's great for full court rallies and net volleys. The limit switch does miss here and there, but honestly, I kinda like the unpredictability. It makes the drills even more exciting. And once I'm done, here's how I roll the machine off the court. It's super easy, but I'm thinking of switching to bungee cords to make it even simpler to transport. The best part, it's not heavy at all. At just 13.25 kilos. I can lift it into my car's trunk without any trouble, especially since both the battery and the trolley come off. And we have to talk about my tennis skills. I've got a long way to go, I know, but with this little fella, I'm definitely gonna get better. And that brings us to the end of this video. And if you've stuck around for this long, thank you so much for sparing your time and your support. Links to the 3D printer parts are in the description below, so feel free to download them and use them as you will. Okay, if you want to see more projects like this, drop a comment below. FYI, I'm gonna take it easy on the next one. And if you haven't already, hit the like button and the subscribe button and make me a happy man. That's it for now, but stay tuned. I've got some cool ideas for my next project involving 3D printing, woodworking, electronics and more. It is safe to say that you'll be hearing from me soon. See ya!